Okay, now we're on the second part of chapter 3. Georgie is running from the hound. He's about slipped him now. So let's pick up on page 42. And then, as he shot over the brow of a slight rise, he suddenly knew he had forgotten Dead Man's Brook. There it lay before him, broad and deep, curving out in a great silvery loop. He, the son of Father, gentleman hunter from the bluegrass, had been driven into a trap that even Porky should have been able to avoid. Whether he turned to the right or left, the loop of the creek hemmed him in, and the old hound could easily cut him off. There was nothing for it but to jump. This sickening realization had not reduced his speed. Now he redoubled it. The slope helped, and his soaring leaps became prodigious. The wind whistled through his lace-back ears. Still he kept his head, as Father would have wished him to. He picked a spot where the bank was high and firm. He spaced his jumps so they would come out exactly right. The takeoff was perfect. He put every ounce of leg muscle into that final kick and sailed out into space. Below him, he could see the cream puff clouds mirrored in the dark water. He could see the pebbles on the bottom and the silver flash of frightening minnows dashing away from his flying shadow. Then, with breathtaking thump, he landed, turned 7 somersaults, and came up sitting in a clump of lush grass. He froze, motionless except for heaving sides, and watching the old hound come thundering down the slope, slide to a stop, and after eyeing the water disgustedly, take his way slowly homeward, his dripping tongue almost dragging the ground. Little Georgie did not need to remember Father's rule for a 10-minute rest after a good run. He was blown, and he knew it, but he did remember his lunch, so he unstrapped the little knapsack and combined lunch and rest. He had been really scared for a moment, but as his wind came back and his lunch went down, his spirits came up. Father would be angry, and rightly, for he had made 2 very stupid mistakes. He had let himself be surprised, and he had run right into a dangerous trap. But that leap! Never in the history of the county had any rabbit jumped Dead Man's Brook, not even Father. He marked the exact spot and calculated the width of the stream there, at least 18 feet. And with his rising spirits, the words and the notes of his song suddenly tumbled into place. Little Georgie laid back on the warm grass and sang his song. New folks comin', oh my, new folks comin', oh my, new folks comin', oh my, oh my, oh my. There weren't many words and there weren't many notes, and the notes just went up a little and down a little and ended where they began. Lots of people might have thought it was monotonous, but it suited little Georgie completely. He sang it loud and he sang it soft. He sang it as a paean of triumph, a saga of perils met and overcome. He sang it over and over again. Red-bellied robin, flying northward, paused in a sapling and called down, "Hi, little Georgie, what are you doing way up here?" "Going to fetch Uncle Arnaldus. Have you ever been by the hill?" "Just left there," Robin answered. "Everybody's excited. Seems there's new folks coming." "Yes, I know," cried little Georgie eagerly. "I've just made a song about it. Wouldn't you like to hear it? It goes like..." "No, thanks," called Robin. "Getting along," and he flew on. Not in the least discouraged, little Georgie sang his song a few more times while he strapped on his knapsack and took up his journey. it was a good song to walk to. So he sang it as he tramped the rest of the high ridge, as he went down the windy hill and circled around Georgetown. He was still singing it as in the late afternoon when he got clear up Danbury Way. He had just finished Oh My for the 4,000th time when a sharp voice from the bushes broke in with, "Oh my, what?" Little Georgie whirled. "Oh my goodness," he cried. Why, it's Uncle Analdus." "Sure is," the voice chuckled. Uncle Analdus as ever was. "Come in, little Georgie, come in. You're a long way from home. If I'd been a dog, I'd got you. Surprised your old man ain't learned you more care. Come in anyhow." Although Mother had worried about the state of Uncle Analdus's home, with no feminine hands around to keep things neat, she could never, in her most pessimistic moments, have pictured anything quite so disorderly as the burrow to which little Georgie was welcomed. You see, it's a mess. Whew. It was a man's home. There could be no doubt about that. And while little Georgie rather admired the bachelor's freedom of the place, he was forced to admit that it really was extremely dirty, and the fleas numerous and active. After his day in the open air, the atmosphere indoors seemed stifling and not at all fragrant. Perhaps it was the sort of tobacco that Uncle Arnaldus smoked. Little Georgie hoped so. His Uncle Arnaldus left. His uncle's cooking too left something to be desired. Their supper consisted of one very ancient and dried up turnip. After this meager meal, they sat outside as little Georgie suggested, and Mother's letter was produced. "Suppose you read it to me, Georgie," said Uncle Arnaldus. "Seem to have mislaid them ding-blasted glasses." Little Georgie knew that he hadn't mislaid them. In fact, he didn't own any. He just had never learned to read. But this formality always had to be gone through with, so he dutifully read. "Dear Uncle Arnaldus, I hope this finds you well, but I know you are lonesome with Mildred married and gone away and all, and we are hoping you will spend the summer with us as we have new folks coming, and we hope they are planting folks, and if they are, well, we will eat good, but they may have dogs or poison or traps and spring guns, and maybe you shouldn't risk your life at all. You haven't much of it left, but we will be looking forward to seeing you anyway. Your loving niece, Molly." There was a postscript which read, "P.S. Please don't let little Georgie get his feet wet." But Georgie didn't read that out loud. The idea! He, little Georgie, who had jumped Dead Man's Brook, little Georgie the leaper, getting his feet wet. "Well now," cried Uncle Arnaldus, "well now, that's a real nice letter, real nice, don't you know, but what I will. Certainly, it's ding-blasted lonesome around here now with Millie gone and all. And as for food, all this carrot-pinching stingy folks I've ever seen. The folks around here is the stingiest, carrot-pinchingest. Yes, sir, I think I will. Course, new folks coming may be good and it may be bad. Either way, I don't trust them. Don't trust old folks neither. But with old folks, you can tell just how much you can't trust them. And with new folks, you can't tell nothing. Think I'll do it, though. Think I will. Does your ma still make the peavine and lettuce soup as good as she used to?" Little Georgie assured him that she still did and wished he had a bowl of it right now. "I've made up a song about the new folks," he added eagerly. "Would you like to hear it?" "Don't think I would," answered Uncle Arnaldus. Sleep anywhere you mind to, Georgie. I've got a few knickknacks to pack up, and we'd ought to be getting an early start. I'll wake you. Little Georgie decided to sleep outside under the bushes. The evening was quite warm, and the burrow was really pretty strong. He hummed his song as a lullaby now, and it was a good lullaby, for before he finished it, the third time, he was sound asleep. The end. So that's the end of chapter 3, and I will see you on Zoom.